Happy morning, children. This will be your last session before your term 1 examination. So I want you all to listen to the session very carefully because the topic which we are going to do today is important. You'll have a anticipation thinking in your mind. We have 5 lessons and how the question paper will be set. Will there be equal distribution of marks? Before the exam, while during the time of revision, I'll send you a blueprint how I have set the question paper, like how your MCQs will be, how your descriptive type will be, from which lesson. I'll tell you everything. Before the exam, don't get confused or don't get panic or dismayed. We will give you a clear picture of everything in detail during the time of revision. The thing which you have to do is, you have to attend the live session which is being arranged for you. Saturdays, your participation in Google Meet is very poor, children. So try to attend the sessions during this time of revision, through which you are going to get benefited out of it. Are you clear with the thing? Shall we get into today's lesson then? To start with today's lesson, the lesson which we are going to see today is, as you know, it is supplementary lesson 4 from your supplementary book, supplementary lesson 4. What is the title of the lesson? I have already given you a message through WhatsApp group that before this session, you should have a beforehand knowledge of the text, what is given in the text in supplementary lesson 4. Have you read the story? Have you understood the story, what is given over there? If you are going to read the story, again when the teacher is going to teach for you, things will get clear. If not, you will not get any idea out of the session. The reason why we give you information before is, you have to gain something out of the session. And when it comes to the point of story, you should read it on your own. You are all the students of CBSE, no? You should read the stories on your own. Whenever you find free time, just take your supplementary book and start reading the stories. Am I clear, children? So if you have read the story, I am happy for you, children. Those who have not read the story, at least sit with your textbook for this session. And those who have read the story also, you can listen to the session with your textbook. I am not going to explain it line by line. Just I am going to highlight some ideas. I am just going to give you the gist of the story. I am going to brief you out the story. Okay. So listen with your textbook and just lend your ears to me what I am going to tell you. Shall we enter into the class now? The title of the story is The Treasure Within. When you read the story, you would know this story is about a person called Hafiz. Hafiz contractor, and he can be called as an architect. How he can be called? He can be called as an architect who is good in drawing, okay, who is good in architecture, who is good in drawing, designs, buildings, okay. So this is his profession. He is very good in that. But this lesson, it is in the form of an interview, okay. It is an excerpt from an interview, a short passage, okay. It is an excerpt from an interview of a renowned architect called Hafiz contractor. I have given you the image of a person. Treasure within. Here I have given you the picture of the person Hafiz contractor, and I have told you this lesson is an excerpt from an interview. It is nothing but it is taken from an interview. It is an extract from an interview. As you all know that how an interview will be. There will be an interviewee and there will be an interviewer. A person, one who asks question, and the person who replies. You would have seen interviews in the TV channels, okay. In English news channels, all if you are going to see interviews, it will be very good. In CNN, IBN and in NDTV, the interviews will be very good. I am not talking about some of the channels like this Pudhiya Thalamura and other thing, all where people will discuss everything and we are not able to know what they discuss, okay, what is their point of discussion. I am not talking about that. So here when you listen to the interview, English interviews, it will be really good. Like they'll just tell their life experiences how it is. One such lesson is the treasure within. Come on, again I'll show you the title. From the title, you can signify many things about the lesson. You can give the important ideas of the lesson. What is meant by treasure within? The treasure within. The treasure, the talent or the capacity which is present within yourself. Do you believe that each one of you is unique in nature? Yes, we all have a belief that each one of us is unique in nature. We have our own talent, we have our own capacity. Don't we, children? Yes, we are like that. So, there is a treasure in everyone's heart. There is a treasure in everyone's thinking. Okay. So, it is naturally present in everyone. The treasure is naturally present within everyone. But how many of us identify the treasure is a question mark. Have you identified the treasure which is present inside you? I have identified my treasure. Yes. I have understood that my passion is towards my profession and I am doing it to the best. Likewise, how many of you have identified the treasure within you? What is the capacity or what is the capability that is present within you? What is the talent that you have in yourself? There will be a unique character, children. Try to identify that. That is your interest. That is your passion. One such person is Hafiz Contractor, who identified the treasure within himself, who came to know that he is good in drawing and who selected a profession according to his passion. See, this is what? A beautiful lesson, a meaningful lesson and a thought-provoking lesson. Okay, interview with Hafiz Contractor. You just imagine a lady is making an interview with Hafiz Contractor. You are supposed to imagine like this. A lady is making an interview with Hafiz Contractor. So when this happens, this man Hafiz Contractor shares his experiences, what happened in his life. When he is giving the interview, what happens? As a child, Hafiz Contractor was disinterested in academics but was very much into games. He was very much afraid of math and often had nightmares in which he would be sitting for a math exam and he would not know anything. Do you have such experience in your life, children? I have just read the introductory part of the story. You can imagine that here a man who lies is Hafiz Contractor. When he is having a sound sleep, he will have nightmares. And how that nightmares will be? That nightmares will threaten him. That nightmares will just give him a sense of feeling, insecure feeling. Why it gives him such an insecure feeling? Because when he was a child, he is not interested in math, subject marks. And the only thing which he is interested is games. So he is not interested in math subject, and whenever he goes to sleep, he gets a nightmare like he is sitting to write his math exam. Got the point, children? You all know what is called nightmares. Okay. Have you experienced any deadly nightmares which threatens you? Yes. So this is what he get nightmares as if he is sitting to write his math exam. Then as a student, Hafiz Contractor was hardly interested in his studies. When he was approaching the 11th standard, his principal caught hold of him and reminded him that his mother was single-handed supporting him in his education. So he would rise up the occasion and he has to study. what the principal is telling to him. The principal is just explaining his family situation, how he is explaining. See, Hafiz, your mother is only supporting you to study. So you have to come up in your studies. You have to show in your studies. You have to show up yourself in your studies. You have to improve. And this is the thing which disturbed him a lot. And finally, here in this line, you can find out he cleared his SSC examination with 50% marks, which was a second class. You all know SSC examination. SSC examination is 10th standard. He cleared his SSC examination. We call it as secondary school leaving certificate, secondary school certificate, with 50 marks with second class. So you know that Hafiz contractor is a person who is less interested in academics, and the subject which just frightens him is maths. But when the principal advised him and that was in his mind, he cleared his SSC examination with 50% marks, and that was a second class result. Contractor had a photographic memory. See, here I have given you children. It talks about his memory. Hafiz contractor had a photographic memory, and thus he could never remember whatever was taught in the classroom. So in which area he was lagging and why he was lagging? The reason is that he had a photographic memory. And what is that photographic memory? It is nothing but the thing which is in his mind will not stay for a long time. The thing which the teacher teach him will not stay for a long time. It will not there be in his mind for a long time. So he had a photographic memory which doesn't support him in his life. But he got very good marks when he joined in an architecture college. He was most interested in playing and would receive a caning every week. What is this caning, children? Beating from his parents every week. This man, he wanted to join the army and also got his admission letter. His family did not welcome the idea and told him to just complete his graduation. So he has an interest of joining the army, but his family did not allow him to do that, to join the army. They wanted him to complete his graduation. See the struggles which he faced in his life. His parents did not allow him to pursue his dreams. So there were many failures in his life. And then what happened? When you read the story, you will come to know that he initially enrolled himself in Jai Hind College by the influence. And when he enrolled himself in Jai Hind College, there he opted for a paper of French. Okay, and you could see the teacher of German died over there and he could not continue with that paper. Contractor opted for German, and since his teacher died, he was left with the choice of opting for French or going to other college. So when the professor of Greek died, this man, he has to take up the French. When he took up the French, his cousin was there to help him out in his French studies. Okay, so this cousin who taught him French was married to an architect. Okay, through whom Hafiz contractor got these interest in architecture, that is through the cousin's husband. Okay, to whom he went for French lessons. Through that cousin's husband, he got an interest in architecture, and through that man he came up in his life. So cousin's husband was the one who just elevated his life, who just brought him knowing his talent. This is what you could understand there. And it was there that he discovered the talent in him. In the architect's office, he saw someone drawing a window detail and told the person that the window he was drawing would not open. So here I'll explain you this in the next 15 minutes, children. Will you wait with me? Okay, this is the very interesting part of the story. You can just keep reading the lesson. When he goes for French class,